I always get on my soapbox about telephones or cell
Let's
phones.
get on it.
Right. But
Jump on there.
But isn't it true though, where it's like that kind of blurs the line, blurs the line between friendships of utility and like real friends, and we're both making demands upon each other. Like we get a series of text messages. Some are from someone we haven't talked to in years, or someone might just be like a business associate who got our number, and then someone might be someone I do life with, like yourself, who asks for the jug of milk.
Right.
But sometimes we feel this I feel this anxiety because I'm like, what's my responsibility to all of these emails that I might get, or all these text messages I might get from people who I'm actually not in communion with.
Yeah.
Like, surely I'm not responsible for all of them, because if I was responsible for all of them, I wouldn't therefore be responsible for my family, because I wouldn't have the time to be.
Right, yeah.
And so making that can be a difficult discernment.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I do think.
I don't know though if it's because, I mean, you and I live different lives in that I have more of a public persona, right? Mm-hmm. And so I do actually have more. I don't know if I do have more or not, but I think it would probably be likely that I have more random people reaching out to me for things. Does that make sense?
Oh, I'm sure you
I don't
do.
mean that.
You have to. Yeah.
So maybe other people don't have that experience where they have a lot of people texting and emailing them about things that they would like, or,
Oh, well,
maybe
I don't
you do.
know. I have that.
You do.
Probably just
Okay.
not to the extent that you do. So, and I'm sure everybody does to some extent.
Yeah.
But this is, a really important point, is that what distance has done, what distance does, is it affirms. Well, let me back up here. So, say you go down to Guatemala or something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy, outrageous thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Your distance creates some sort of void in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my day to day is now dependent on Matt Fradd in some way, where I'm used to being with you, right? And so if you're not there, I feel that. And that void is one of the best ways. I think Sartre said this, that it's the best way of knowing that the other person really exists.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that something?
Because if I came back and was like, I've been gone for a year, and you're like, what? I didn't even know you left. What does that say?
Yeah, exactly. And so, having that distance means that there's something then to either just sit with and kind of appreciate, and hopefully that leads us to praying for the other person, because that is the best way that we can unite with another who is not there. But it also can lead to some sort of real labor to get in touch with the other person, like getting out the piece of paper, to writing the note, to sharing something that is uniquely my own, my handwriting, my thoughts. But if I whip out my phone and I do that, then there's actually not the same labor there on two points. One is that my work is actually the work of the tech billionaires over there who are making it all easier for me to do this. Is that it makes me think that I'm doing something. I'm getting out my phone. I'm sending Matt a message, or I'm giving him a call. But really the labor is another's in that situation. There's not as much of myself that I can give. My handwriting, the lack of long form and stuff like that, that's not available, say, in a handwritten note. There's plenty of ways to poke into this, but go with me here for a bit. But the bigger problem, I think at least, is that we can have some sort of communication without any collaboration in a common work when we're apart. Again, there's ways of overcoming that. I mean, the whole idea of working from home thing is, manifests that. But it's not the default, and it's not the obvious thing, and particularly it's not the clear thing when it comes to a friendship with another. Like, we are now missing that common work of where we are. And of course, if we're present to somebody afar, then we're not present to where we are here, and that means that we may be committing some sort of oversight on the common work that we are supposed to be achieving presently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And being human creatures, it really is, like, video calls are really no substitute for being in the same room as each other. I would even say, like, having a common work where I do it in Steubenville and my colleague does it in Arizona and my other colleague does it in Atlanta, there's no substitute for like working together, flesh and blood in the same room.
Yeah.
It's just not. I mean, we all realize that. As soon as COVID lockdowns were over, it was very important to me to stop doing Skype interviews, which I did for a bit throughout that time. But this is what I really like. I really like sitting with another human being. And everybody understands that. Everybody who comes to the studio understands why this is better than a Skype interview. Everybody who watches the show prefers it when, like if I do an interview and people think it was going to be in person, they find out it's a Skype thing, everyone's disappointed.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I think you probably can't get away from the fact that there's like a millisecond delay between when I say something and you respond on Skype. Like there is that barrier, but I don't know. It's just it's more human to sit across from another person and look in their actual eyes as opposed to looking into a video camera. It's it's less personal, and we want what's personal.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I suppose that has to be part of it because technically you're watching a recording.
That's true.
On Skype, right?
But maybe it's like friendship.
And
I want to watch someone else's friendship.
Even,
you know.
Oh, or I'm saying like conducting it. So like it's the same reason like why you can't do a confession on Skype or on a phone call, because technically it's a recording. It's not live. It's not living. You could do one with a megaphone because that's only projecting your voice. Isn't that weird?
That is so cool. Yeah. You don't want to if you're confessing it.
But and then but I suppose that has to be part of it, is that even like our souls know the real from the recorded in a way that we might not be able to at first articulate or understand the importance of.
Hey, thanks for watching that clip. Would you like this beautiful, very high quality, definitely not made in China, not that there's anything wrong with that, Pints with Aquinas beer stein for free, sent to your door? Would you also like a copy of The Jill sent to your door 4 times a year? This is the Pints with Aquinas newspaper, by the way. If you do, go to mattfradd.locals.com and become an annual supporter for any amount. We'll send you that stuff for free, and you get a bunch of other free things in return. You'll get more information by going over to mattfradd.locals.com. Thanks.